Next up, he's a former LSU football standout linebacker from New Iberia and joined the athletics administrative staff in August of 2001 as Associate Athletics Director for Operations and was appointed to his position of Senior Associate Athletics Director in 2006. Supervises and is responsible for football operations, scheduling, which he always enjoys talking about, and football management, among other duties. LSU is now 13th in the Associated Press Bowl this week following their 21-19 win at Mississippi State, and they host 18th ranked Auburn Saturday at 2:30 in Tiger Stadium. Please give a warm Greater New Orleans Sports Foundation Quarterback Club welcome to Verge Ausberry on the LSU Tigers.
Thanks, Ken. Always great to be here in New Orleans, and calling to get that map again from you, because I use that for scheduling a lot of those games on there. Mike. Always good to be here, speak to you all. If you watched the game the other night, you watch LSU, a lot of things happen. You have a doctor, make sure to get you a good cardiologist. That's how we felt during that fourth quarter at the end of the game. Ken, when I do these speaking engagements, I always tell Ken I want to do the earlier speaking engagements to get over with before we lose a game. And I was laughing because Mickey had to go up here before me. So one thing I was thinking about Ken in that fourth quarter on the last drive was like, wow, what the hell I'm going to tell him once quarterback club. That just popped in my head. I'm like, woo. So when that field goal went to the right, I'm like, okay, now that's something to talk about. It's always rough for us to come out during those times of the year. Played a good game. First game was a good game, I thought, by our young quarterback. And that's what we were trying to figure out what we had there. We know what we had there. As you know, the first game was canceled because of lightning, and we were very, very worried about it because he's opening up on the road. That's your first game of the year. It's SEC game. It counts in that category. Young man played well, made all the checks, made all the calls. You had told us that we would have Mississippi State to 43 yards rushing, and schools have been that close. Usually schools are greater than that. The whole team that kind of rushing yards, especially Mississippi State, a team, a big physical team who likes to run the football. So to get out there with a win in the SEC is always important. And that's what we were just trying to do. Wish we'd open it up a little more. I think the young quarterback could have done a lot better. He has a great arm. He runs the ball well. He makes the checks at the line. He has a great offensive line and great running backs behind him. One of the issues you saw that we started put a young freshman there, Tuhima, as offensive lineman. Josh Booty started the game, had some issues, number 77. Put a young freshman there. It's very hard to start as an offensive lineman in the SEC as a freshman. And hopefully, Booty gets back up to par where he needs to be to play for the rest of the season, so our schedule doesn't get any easier. This week, we open up with Auburn. Everybody talking about how much Auburn dropped in the polls. And look at the polls, they dropped from number 6 to number 12 and now number 18. Let me tell you something, this conference, it doesn't mean anything. It's not going to be the same Auburn you saw play Jacksonville State Saturday. It's going to be a good Auburn football team. Look at their defense, it's very solid. Look at their coaching staff. My good friend Bill Muschamp, his defensive coordinator there. It's a very tough football game. From here on out, our schedule is very tough. The biggest thing for us is, we get through Auburn, and then you go to Syracuse and Eastern Michigan up in there in Florida, those games. That last month of November is scary. Month of November, we have 4 tough games. You look at Alabama, you look at Ole Miss, you look at Arkansas, you look at Texas A&M. That's a tough month for us. A lot of promise, though. When we look at our game, get back at the film the other day, I met with some of the coaches who got in the room. We have a lot of young players. We have a lot of good young football players. And this will be a very, very exciting season for us. The defense, I think we're good. I don't think we're very, very deep there right now. I think that's what happened during the game, as you saw. Is our offense was out 3 and out. It put a lot of pressure on defense. Our defense is a quick strike defense. A lot of lean players, not big 300-pound guys on the front line. And that type of scheme, you got to get in and get out the defense. Keep them off the field as much as possible. And I think that's some things that you will see further as the year goes on. I think when you play the first game like we played Saturday, there's a lot of things we didn't put in the game plan to keep it simple for the quarterback so we can catch up with the game plan we want to run. So that's pretty much what, we're happy to get out of Starksville with a win. Like I said, it's a very important win for us at LSU, starting the year off. We have a lot of talent. You can see Darius Geis, the running back, play. You can see Nick Brissett, the other running back, play. because a lot of guys that didn't play in this game that was seeing get more playing time as the year go on. And after that, I'll open up for any questions.
Raise your hand, the microphone will come to you. Right in the middle.
Yes, sir.
Will you be applying for the AD job at Texas?
I'll tell you what, a lot of people will be applying for that job with the money University of Texas has. You know, we were talking about that earlier. The University of Texas is the biggest job in the business. They have a $180 million budget. The university has a $7.5 billion endowment total. It's one of the premier jobs in the world. So there has to be a lot of people putting there for that position, I promise you. Yes, sir.
Hey, kudos for opening the season with 2 SEC teams to start the season. So anyway, is LSU planning a Heisman Trophy campaign for undergrad?
Our marketing information staff, we're starting to do some work on that. I think, you win the Heisman Trophy, you start the campaign, what you do in the field really is going to count. You had a great game, 159 yards, 3 touchdowns. That's a start. This week will be another part of that story, see how he finishes up at the end of the year. But there's a group of marketers and sports information people that do the campaign. He's somebody that we certainly would like to do that for, like to help in his career. He's a great kid, great young man, does well academically, does well on and off the field. And it's a credit to New Orleans. It's a St. Aug kid. And it's a good credit to the city of New Orleans to have him on our team.
Canceled game, any preparation in the future for that not to happen? And then what was the, all the things you hear in the media, what was the end game on why we didn't play on Sunday?
That's a good question. We schedule games like this here. We have contracts. Certain natural disasters, things like that happen to cancel game and move the game. The first thing we try to do is move the game to a different date. Maggie State had a game on that day. It would take too much movement and moves on. We thought about sometimes bringing somebody in from another conference that had an open date on that day, bring them in, they use another game, pay their game. We're talking to some of the committee members on the selection committee. Does it help or does it hurt LSU? And I think it was a team from a Power 5 conference. We probably make it up, probably played it. But it didn't hurt us one way or the other. Do we automatically guarantee? Yes, we do automatically guarantee. We have insurance for that. It covers it for us for the game. It probably gives us about 80% of the money. We lost about $3.2 million on tickets off of that game. The refund we give back is not including all the police and everybody we use for the game. The LSU employs about 3,500 people in a football game. So all of that money, we lose that also. But at the same time, we didn't think it gave us an advantage. We moved the game and played another date. One thing we lost the advantage was getting our quarterback experience. When we look at it, all other positions we were fine with. We looked at it and said, you know what, we're starting a really quarterback who's going to play one game last year, total Mississippi State in the second half and Auburn in the first half. And we didn't know what we had that position. We wanted to make sure that we was hoping that we get him more time, more experience to play that game. That's pretty much what it was. We looked at it, it didn't give us an advantage to play the game. We really wanted to play the game, we couldn't get it in, and we was honoring Magnus $500,000. Any other questions? Thank you.